The Seattle SuperSonics might be back to Seattle in the next 2 years. Here's why. What's up, my Scorpions? Today I'm so excited to tell you guys why I believe the Seattle SuperSonics might be back in Seattle over the next 2 years. First, leave in the comment section below if you think it's possible for the SuperSonics to come back to Seattle and when you think it will happen if you do. Let's waste no time getting right into this. The Seattle SuperSonics left Seattle way back in 2008 on bitter terms. I'm not going to go into everything that went down in that situation, but what we do know is that things were a little bit misleading. There were some lawsuits involved, and Seattle lost our team who had one of the brightest futures in the NBA, and eventually in Oklahoma City would have 3 MVPs on the same team. And we got robbed and our team was taken away. Ever since we lost the Seattle SuperSonics, Seattle has been waiting patiently for now 12 years, more than a decade, to get a team back, and we're yet to have one. Well, today, I have a way for Seattle to finally get a team back. There are 2 ways that teams can be added to the NBA, right? There could be an expansion, where there's an expansion draft and teams are allowed to protect a certain amount of players, and then Seattle would be one of probably 2 teams, one in the Eastern, one in the Western Conference, to pick of the players that are not protected by the selective franchises. But Adam Silver, years ago, when a preseason NBA game was played at Key Arena in Seattle between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors, where Kevin Durant walked out wearing a Sonics jersey. After that game, Adam Silver was asked about potential NBA coming back to Seattle, and he expressed interest in the city, but he didn't think it was very imminent, and he didn't think it was going to happen anytime soon. The reason being, and what I kind of took away from what he had to say, was that if Seattle is to get a team, it's probably not going to be via expansion. The reason being, Adam Silver is all about the competitiveness of the league. The NBA lottery is to prevent teams from tanking so that teams will be more competitive. Adam Silver alluded to it in that interview. He's more focused on making sure there's 30 good teams in the league than adding 2 more teams to kind of even out the pile even more and allow more teams to be just dominant, considering a lessened amount of talent, because there's even more teams. There's not as much parity in the NBA as there is in the NFL, and because of that, they can't have as many teams. So what does that mean? If Seattle wants to get a new team, we're going to have to take it from someone else. Now, looking around the NBA, there are a couple of teams that come to mind. Sacramento, the LA Clippers, but those are 2 pretty big markets themselves, and we tried to get the Kings a couple years back and that didn't work out. The Hornets, they just went back, didn't they? They're pretty happy with themselves, and they have MJ running the show, so I don't think he's gonna come out to Seattle. We've heard guys in the past like Kevin Garnett and Kevin Durant both say they're trying to get teams back in Seattle. Garnett potentially could work something with the Timberwolves, and I think the Timberwolves are a potential option, and I would love that very much. But the team that I think is most likely coming to Seattle, and exactly when I think they'll come, is in June of 2021, when Climate Pledge Arena, aka Key Arena's new name, is fully revamped. The Kraken are in Seattle, and Giannis will be on a new team. I believe Seattle gets the Milwaukee Bucks. Here's why. In the past 2 seasons, when they had an MVP on their team in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and this year when he was one of 3 players all time to win Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same season, that guy is on your team, and neither year did you make it to the finals, aka not as competitive as you should have been, and both years you were 17th and 18th in total attendance at your games with an MVP. Seattle is such a better market than Milwaukee. The 4 years before they had MVP Giannis on their team, their total attendance was ranked 27th twice, 26th, and 24th. And their average attendance based on the amount of seats that they can actually fill relative to the amount of seats that were filled was 26th 3 times and 22nd once. And they weren't competitive any of those years. How is this a better market than Seattle? In 07 and 06 at Key Arena, which didn't have that many seats, Seattle ranked 25th and 23rd in total seats filled. That's more than Milwaukee over that following stretch before they had MVP Giannis. And if you're going based off the percentage of how many seats the arena had versus how many were filled, Seattle was 12th and 9th in those years. That's top half of the league. Seattle clearly wants a team. We clearly have one of the best markets in America. We absolutely deserve a franchise, and if the Milwaukee Bucks have proven to not be competitive without an MVP, can't sell tickets, and the NBA is revenue-based and competitiveness-based, and with an MVP on their roster, they can't make it to the NBA Finals, the biggest stage, and this past year they couldn't even make it to the conference finals. If that guy walks away, Giannis, in the summer of 21, what's the future look like for Milwaukee? Chris Middleton? What are the plans? How are you going to sell tickets? Once again, that market is going to be one of the worst in the NBA. So us Seattle fans need to root for Giannis to leave Milwaukee. If Giannis leaves Milwaukee, what does Milwaukee have? Nothing. That fan base is strong and they're passionate and they are going to absolutely fight to keep their team. But Seattle didn't want to lose our team either, and Seattle's bigger than Milwaukee. So if Giannis leaves the Milwaukee Bucks in the summer of Giannis, I say Seattle, with our brand new arena that originally was set to cost $600 million, that now costs $930 million, set to be complete in June of 2021, where the Seattle Kraken are going to play, that now seats 18,600 for basketball, is going to become the new home for the Milwaukee Bucks. They'll come back to Seattle as the SuperSonics. I pray that this prediction comes true. I really hope it happens, and I truly believe that it could. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Let me know in the comment section below what team you think would be the best fit to come to Seattle, or do you think an expansion draft is in order? As always, go Cougs.